Now we come up on A18, Island Performance. It's another Class 1 boat here entered today. It's a 21-foot superboat powered by a single 200 horsepower Mercury outboard motor. This boat is owned and navigated by Robert McCullough, and driving today he's got Lee Gospodinoff from Greenwich, Connecticut. So the team of McCullough and Gospodinoff coming over from Greenwich for the Island Performance race team, doing a very good job. They took a first place this year at the Harbor Square race in Stamford for '89. So they have a victory under their belt, and they'd love to add to that here today. That was Peter Myers, Miss Lady L, on the starboard side of Island Performance. Island Performance rigs boats in Lindenhurst, New York, here on the island. So this boat has been prepared by them, and it looks very strong right now. Island Performance. There you see the navigator doing his job. McCullough navigating for Gospodinoff. You see the race course taped to the dash. He's lining them up, and they are on course and looking very good right now. They must make their move. The race is starting to come to a close, and he has to start making the move, as all boats must now if they're going to go for it. Island Performance charging hard to overtake some of the boats in the lead group. As you can see, the motor mount, or something with the bracket or the motor mount, is slightly loose right now. There's a lot of vibrations going on with that motor. We hope it does not develop into anything serious, but it can limit them on the speed that they can maintain. We wish McCullough a good final run today, and we look forward to seeing him throughout the year. Robert McCullough's Isle Performance Race Team. Now we're back to Jeff Girardi's freeze frame. He's presently running in first place in class, holding off Kamikaze and Joyride. And we're going to stay with him as he heads towards the start-finish line, and hopefully, if all goes well, he'll be taking the checkered flag. We're going to stay with him right to the finish, and in the meantime we'll be trying to compile the final results of some of the other classes, and in just moments we'll be bringing you the final results of the Manhasset Bay Gold Cup. What a great storyline this is. Jeff Girardi coming back after so many years of basic inactivity, comes out with the boat. A lot of people helped him out to get this boat prepared. He's come out, and if he stays like it is right now, barring any unforeseen problems, he will win today's race in Class 2. Certainly a great champion. Jeff Girardi's freeze frame video.